Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to publish your site to your own hosting. There are two ways to publish a site. You can publish it one to your own hosting in wherever you're hosting, for example like to GoDaddy, HostGator, Bluehost, or whatever hosting provider you're using. The publishing uses FTP. The second method is you can also publish to your local hosting here, which is the SiteShaver complimentary hosting. You can also use that if you have opted for that option during your sign up. When you first finish building your site, you click Site Publish. It will probably tell you you need to add a domain, which means it's asking you to tell it what domain to publish this site to. You tell it by giving it the FTP information. So it will ask you to click to go to the member login area, so where you can put it in, which is the same. This is the same area as where you create your site. When you do add sites, you see each site that you've created will be listed here, and you can click on add domain to add the information. When you click on add domain, it will pop up the information for you to put in your FTP information. But before we start, you make sure that you already have your FTP account created for wherever you're hosting. In this case, I have a website called Quick Instructor. It's a domain name I registered, and I have hosting with a different hosting provider. And all you have to do is go to your hosting account there and set up your FTP. To do that, I'm going to use my example here. This is my hosting cPanel for my domain called Quick Instructor. Different hosting providers have different interface, but for the most part they're all the same. If you use something like HostGator hosting, or GoDaddy, or MyPantry hosting, they're all pretty much the same. Just look for where you have the FTP information on the FTP accounts. If you don't know how to set up an FTP information, please ask your web guy or contact your hosting provider. So I'm going to go on the FTP accounts here. You want to first create a login for the FTP. I'm going to just use I'm going to call it SiteShaver. So the login will be SiteShaver at quickinstructor.com. Put a password in, and then the most important here is a directory. You want to make sure it's in the root directory of the site. In this case, with public_HTML. For most of you using hosting providers that use cPanel standard software, it will pretty much do this for you automatically. It will tell you it's public_HTML. So that's pretty much it. And you can see that FTP account has been created. So that's pretty much all there is to create an FTP account. So now you can go back to your site builder and put in that information. If you click on the add domain, you can host address would be your domain name. Just put in your domain name. In this case, my domain name is Quick Instructor. That's the domain I want to publish it to. No www, no HTTP. Simple and straightforward. And the FTP login will be the FTP login that you just created. In this case, mine was SiteShaver at quickinstructor.com, and then put in your password. This FTP SSL means if your provider uses SSL, you can check that, but for most people it will be unchecked. And then click Verify Connection. If the password is correct and it was able to check it and everything is good, it will tell you connection verified successfully. If everything is not correct, it will tell you that the information is not correct, and then you have to go make sure you check your password and your login, make sure they're correct. And then if the connection is successful, it will give you the option for the published directory. This directory is going to be published in. For default, if you've set it your FTP correctly, you should just publish in the current directory. That's all you need to do. You should just set it to current directory. And then under here, lastly, it says the domain URL that maps to your published directory. This pretty much means what's the domain name again. Just pretty much the same domain name, put it here, but this time you should put the www, http://www. Quickinstructor. It can be with the www or without the www. It doesn't really matter. But at least but you need to have the http colon in there. And that's it. If you hit submit, it will check it, make sure it's all good. If it's all good, it will say FTP info successfully updated. Your path will give you, it will even give you an example here where you can click click here to publish to check the publish path. If you click on that, it will take you to that domain URL. It would have put a sample file in there. As you can see, put an index sample file, which tells you that it was able to connect and publish to that site correctly, and that if you do publish your site, it will work all nice. So that's it. You can go ahead and close and then go back to editing your site. Now I can easily go back to site publish and click site publish, and it will start publishing now. So that's it. It's pretty much published into Quick Instructor. If this is the first time you're publishing, it may take a little while for it to publish because there's a lot of files. But if you are just making changes and you just need to publish, it will take to be much quicker. When it's done publishing, it will tell you it's published. Notice that the site has fully published on my domain quickinstructor.com. As you can see, I browse to the domain quickinstructor.com, and the domain is right there, all nice and beautiful. So that's how it is to publish, easy it is to publish a site via FTP. Remember, if for some reason you publish a site and you don't see all the images or something seems missing for some reason, you go back to your editor and click Advanced Settings, and then check the full publish box, and then go back and publish again. This will publish your site fully, to help you make sure that you don't miss anything. Now, for those of you who use the Siteshaver.com complimentary hosting, you want to host it with Siteshaver, the process is pretty much the same as I just outlined above. You just pretty much do the same thing, create an FTP account, and fill in the information. If you want to add additional domains, you just add them as what we call add-on domains. Add-on domains are like a way for you to share hosting with multiple domains. So all you gotta do is click add-on domains and put in your domain name here, the domain name that you've registered. For example, if I had registered good hair online, FTP information would be, FTP username would be good hair online, or whatever you want it to be. To generally try to pre-fill for you, and then the root host name will be public_HTML/ whatever you want it to be. In this case, I just want to keep it simple and choose the same good hair online. And then I'll obviously put in my password here, put in the password you want to use, and then click add domain, and that will automatically add the domain for you as an add-on domain, and also create an FTP information for you. So it kind of does both for you at the same time. But before you add a domain, add a new domain, make sure you have this domain registered through this system. To do that, you definitely want to make sure that you're logged into your account and going on the domains and clicking on register a new domain. That's how you register a domain. Just go through the process, pay for it, and after you register the domain, you can then go back in here on the add-on to your cPanel under add-on domains and add the domain as an add-on domain, and hence you can also then use this information here as also your FTP information. So when you go, if you were going to add this site, for example, as an additional domain, say for a client, you would then go to your site builder. Let's go to builder, log out the builder, so we can get to the home screen. Here we go. So on the settings here, this would then be something like goodhaironline.com. The FTP information will be the same as what you just got here. It's FTP username, and then the password. Obviously click verify to check it if that's correct, and then the directory would also be obviously current directory, and pretty much this will be the same thing, to be the same domain name. So everything pretty much will be the same, and if you click submit and everything's okay, it will work just as normal. So basically, whether you're hosting with us or hosting elsewhere, the process is basically the same thing. Just go ahead and create an FTP wherever the hosting is, put in your FTP here, and publish. That's it. Thank you. If you have any questions, just go ahead and open the support tickets.